What's going on, everybody? We are live for Financial Fitness Friday, and I got my buddy Dave. Dave, what's going on, bro?
Jonathan, I'm good, buddy. Good to see you, man. Love the setup. It's looking awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So,
Yes, sir.
what I want to talk about is something that it's kind of like a lost art. It's just communicating, right? In business, and you don't have to own a business to understand that this is very important. It's important for a business owner, it's important for anyone, okay? But how you communicate with the people you work with the people you do business with, and with your partners really does make a difference. And I will tell you that the more you communicate, the more business you can do. And I will say I am probably guilty of over communicating, but I over communicate because I understand how important it is, right? Same thing with your team. If you're trying to lead a team, they have to understand what the mission is, what their job and their role is, and what they're supposed to be getting done and how they're supposed to be reporting that back to you. All right. So a lot of times, if you are lacking in communication, especially if you are the head of a team or the head of a company, there will always be some level of confusion. Right. So what I want to do is I want to go over a couple steps and the takeaways that we can give you to help clean up and clear up the communication process, because it is a lost art. Dave, what do you think about this topic?
Yeah, I mean, it is a problem, and I see it especially in the younger generation coming up. Their communication platform. It seems that every decade or every generation, it starts to kind of dumb its way down a little bit, and that's no fault of theirs. That's a culture shift in society, right? Like going from the telephone, right? Going from sending letters, and then email comes along, and then texting comes along, and then just hitting a button to like it, right? So you're losing that communication platform, then those simple speaking skills, so to speak, right? And that's exactly what it is. It's a skill set, guys.
Yeah.
If you don't use it, you're gonna lose it.
Yeah. The fact that most of the younger generation that's coming into the workforce, they grew up on text. Listen, I think I like text. Text is incredibly efficient, right? But text can also be misinterpreted and is usually misinterpreted. Same thing with emails, right? So there are just certain things you have to speak through, right? And so what I want to do is kind of go over some of the things that usually get misconstrued and how you can kind of clean some of that stuff up. First, when you're communicating major messages, and I think this does get lost, when you are running a team and there is a major message. What's a major message? Your mission, your vision. That needs to be repeated daily, right? That is something that you are going to consistently do, consistently harp on throughout the organization, right? That is what you guys stand for. That is what you guys are trying to accomplish as a team. But then there's directives, right? So a lot of times if I have to give, or I need Dave to do a project, if I just tell him the project and say, all right, cool, go. Well, if I'm not clear, he might not know when that's due. He might not know what the idea and the intent is behind the project. Okay. So if I do not communicate properly, there's usually going to be a breakdown. So one of the biggest things that I have learned and I've started doing is, after we have some sit down or have some direction on the project, open up for questions. Okay. I want to see what questions he's going to ask me to understand his understanding of the intent behind the project, what needs to be done on the project, and how he's thinking of doing it. Okay. If you don't get those things out, it's not going to come out the right way. If you're not checking in, and I'm not saying micromanage, checking in, it's not going to come out the right way. One of the things I like to do is I want Dave to repeat everything back to me. I want to see how sharp it is and how much he understands. And then I want to go fill in the gaps. Okay. That will help, and that will save you guys a lot of time, effort, and energy. And it will make things get done a lot quicker, a lot smoother, and get done the right way up front. Dave, have you experienced that at all with your guys?
Yeah, you have it coming, and we've changed a lot in terms of teaching to speak more. Communication's very big. Yeah, we have our little text chat and stuff, but there's a reason why we have quick meetings almost every day, right? If not every other day, for communication, right? A lot of times they don't even know it, but we kind of do that by design because everybody wants to text. They text clients too, they'll email them, but guys, you still got to pick up the phone. And to take things a little step further, kind of what Jonathan was saying, hey, let's show you how it's done. This is how it's done from point A to point B, right? Even a lot of in our ecosystem, we're doing a lot of back and forth kind of sales training or practice, right? You're getting prepared for the game. It's not you're just handing out like a script or steps to follow and hey, follow this A to Z. No, we practice it back and forth. There's a communication standard. You can throw them a question, trip them up a little bit. It's sharpening the skills. It's also sharpening, and we'll stay on that subject line, but it's sharpening what happens when you get an objection, right? How do you communicate back? There's one thing like when you can think quickly and answer something back, or as opposed to go, getting tripped up. And that kind of sense I've noticed happens a lot in just simple conversation too. Hey, how you doing? My name is Dave. You live? You dead? What's going on here? You know what I mean? And that's a reality that I see it. I can tell when somebody's new and uncomfortable, even in a networking setting. It's the same thing. One of the biggest things that we do, and to kind of touch back on Jonathan, like how he was saying, repeat back. We record everything. Yeah. We record everything on purpose, whether we have a transcript of a team kind of webinar setting that we're doing or team online meeting, or we use Loom. Loom is a great tool that if you can't talk to somebody face to face, you can record a video, a step-by-step video verbally with context on how to do it right at your fingertips. It's probably one of the best tools ever for training purposes, really, for simple communication.
Yeah. And guys, I wasn't even talking like Dave. Thank you for bringing up sales. I wasn't even talking about sales. Like this is just inner office and team communication.
Yeah, in general.
Sales, guys, I want, like to Dave's point, sales, this should be supercharged, right? It's something that I do on a weekly basis with my guys, and I have our team lead do on a weekly basis. And it is always a ton of role playing, objection handling, and everything else, right? We also do a lot of training on programs, products, how to use them, because we have so many different things that we bring to the market. Okay. And they are so different that you really do need to know business at a very high level and then financing at a very high level and money at a high level. So the training that you have to do, it's got to be repetitious. Right. And then here's another one, guys, that a lot of people mess up. And I want to tell you guys a story. And then afterwards, I'm going to tell you what it means. Okay. Because it's very important. When it comes to partnerships and relationships, especially if you're in sales or you're running a business, great partners communicate openly, directly, and consistently. Okay. If you take away anything, I'm giving you guys a takeaway up front of the story. And here's why. I have 2 partners that were pseudo influencers. Okay. They both chose to do the wrong thing. They did not communicate with me. They decided that they wanted to take what I do and do it for themselves. And they have failed gloriously. Okay. Where I could have helped them. And then I recently had a partner that I have always had amazing communication with. And they told me that they were considering to do, they were going to consider doing some other things as well. And because we had that open dialogue from day one, and we've had that trust from day one, I let them know that it might not work the way they thought it would work, or it wouldn't work great for their group because they have a very large group of amazing individuals, and they built a certain culture there. And one of the companies that they wanted to introduce into there would have rocked and damaged the culture. Okay. It was a predatory lending institution. And I basically said, hey, listen, I don't really offer that program, but this is why I try not to offer this program. And after that communication, it actually saved that group from potentially what could have been a bad situation. All right. And the reason that happens is because you've built up enough of these good faith deposits from people understanding how you operate, how you communicate. And then it makes it so it's a lot easier when there is something difficult that is going to happen, you already have that communication part dialed in. So you can have those more challenging conversations, right? And people that are comfortable having uncomfortable conversations get a lot more shit done. Let me say again, people that are comfortable having uncomfortable conversations get a lot more shit done. Okay. Because there are so many people that cannot have a hard conversation with somebody on their team that isn't doing the right thing. There are so many people that have trouble having conversations with their friends, their family, okay, about, touchy subjects that are important. You have to learn to communicate. The more you communicate, the better your life will be. All right. This is a skill that you can work on. Anyone can work on. And if you want to work on it, I highly suggest trying to go to, let's say, a Toastmasters or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Dave, you got anything else, brother?
Yeah, Toastmasters, just a simple networking event just to get you around people. Like they're there for the same reason you are, to meet new people, to generate business at some point in time, but realistically, just to meet new people. I mean, a networking group is a very good way to, I think, to start before Toastmasters. Toastmasters, you got to get thrown right in the fire. So
yeah. So my thing would be, I would tell you start with Toastmasters first.
yeah, to jump in the fire, man.
Bro, not even jump. I'm not saying that. Just do the hard shit first, because then everything else is easy.
Yep.
All right.
The bottom line is just do something. Do something.
Yeah. With intent.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. Share this with someone that needs to hear it. Hope you guys finish the week strong. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you on Mindset Monday.
Be great, y'all.